Hello, welcome to His Majesty Chief Methuselah Z.O. Bradley IV, Dear Mousy of West Africa Talk Show. Our host for this evening is Lord Robert Wyatt.
Thank you very much. It's indeed an honor for me to be here to be able to host this show this evening. And I'd like to have an opportunity to bring forth the Derma for West Africa and the diaspora. His Majesty Methuselah Z.O. Bradley IV. Friends, could you please rise to receive our Royal Majesty from Dermont from West Africa. How are you doing? Good evening, Chief. It's good to see you, sir. Gentlemen. I'll go over here so you can sit down. Sorry. Yeah, Chief, it's indeed a pleasure for me to have you out this evening for our show. And I noticed you have several members of that royal house with you. And I was just first like to ask, if you could share with our audience, some information on the royal house, how you've come to be the Dermont chief for West Africa, et cetera. Like your origin, to where from where you came from to where you are now.
Well, I became paramount chief of Bokakwa in Sierra Leone, and that was in '94. And after being over there for 11 months, visiting the other countries, I became Derma. And so I practiced law in Philadelphia, and so does Lord Michael and my cousin here, Lord Greg. And so we do a lot of different things, especially during the time of Ebola and in the time of COVID. And I was able to get the Governor Bashir down in Kentucky to send over troops over there to provide them with mobile hospitals and that sort of thing. So I serve on the UN Infectious Disease Committee, and I'm also the international chairman for the Congressional Black Caucus Veterans Brain Trust.
Yeah, I noticed you have several of our members here with you this evening, and I was wondering if you could share with us who they are.
This is Lord Michael Nix, that's on the end here. He serves as the head of the Royal Legal Staff, and next to him is Count Gregory Freeman. In Africa, his last name would be called Fumula, and he serves as my business magnate, and as well as that he serves as the Nazo.
Yes, that's very good. I think several years ago, I became acquainted with the Royal House through one of our past Grand Masters, Thomas Jackman. And I didn't really join at that time, but I noticed that you do have a lot of fraternity members, Grand Masters, and people, from around the country and also from other parts of the world.
Right.
And I was just wondering how all that come about.
We have directly, we have 8 past and current grandmasters here in the United States, including yourself and Tom Jackman and others. But we also had the Grandmaster of the Bahamas, the Grandmaster of Canada, the Grandmaster of each of the West African countries.
Okay.
And In fact, I think you are supposed to interview Grandmaster Samuel Cooper from Liberia.
Yes. I had a privilege of talking to him, and he had indicated that he spoke at a Grandmasters conference in Washington, D.C. some
Right.
years ago. And ironically, I was at that same conference.
Right.
I was at the time, I was the junior Grand Warden, which is the fourth ranking officer in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But I got a chance to meet him. And to be honest with you, Jerry Butler, who was known as the Iceman, performed at that
Right.
session. He was the Grand Master of Illinois during the same time I was Grand Master of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, he just died, I think it was a year or so ago. But yeah, I was at that same convention with Grandmaster Cooper, and I look forward to meeting with him again,
Right.
in the near future. We've had an opportunity to talk, but I look forward to meeting with him and getting him on the show so that we can interview him.
I would go to the closed door sessions that they would have for grand officers,
Mm-hmm.
and I would teach hermeneutics.
Yes.
And sitting to my right, he and I are part of the same Elk Lodge,
Okay.
Ovicado 20, and here in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And he's the exalted ruler there. And I was the past grand exalted ruler for Elkton. And so we are pretty much, and I see another member of our house sitting in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
She's a federal judge,
Yes.
and but she's also in the same sorority as my wife and two daughters, which is AKAs.
Okay, Alpha.
Yeah, so
Kappa Alpha.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was our sister chapter when I was in school. I was a Kappa Alpha Psi when I attended out in Kansas. And at least on our campus, the AKAs were our sisters. I know on some campuses they're not, but we were, that was our sisters out there.
Our sisters were the Zetas,
Okay.
and so we've been involved in a lot of things. We've given tons of medical supplies
Yes.
over in Africa. Like when I was saying that Governor Bashir sent his troops over to there, we also sent in 2 40-foot tightly packed containers of medical supplies, because there was a tremendous need of it, especially Ebola times and later on in COVID.
Yes. Well, it's interesting, that you both are members of OB-Cato. During the time I was online in the Grand Lodge, I was made a member of OB-Cato. I never, had an opportunity to continue to go to meetings and fellowship there, but I did become a member over there.
She did on site.
Yes.
Well, in fact, we went when they finally found Ovicato's grave,
Oh.
and we were there, and they had other dignitaries there, and they finally put a statue of him,
Which I
down there
during my time,
during his time
Okay.
sitting in the chair,
City Hall.
yeah, and
I've
City
seen
Hall,
that.
yeah, and that's just shows what people are able to do if they become set on it. And it's kind of like with Michael, he's from a different lodge than I was in, but it works out.
Yes. We have Lord Michael, and Lord Michael, what is it that you do for your livelihood, sir?
I am a Philadelphia attorney. I practice law all over the 5 counties of Pennsylvania. I also work as the attorney for the Royal House. I work with another business, an airport business. It's a family business. So I'm keeping myself very busy all the time. A little too busy.
Oh, yeah.
Too busy.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with your father, even before I got a chance to know you, so I go back quite a bit. Could you share some information, for our listeners about your father?
Well, briefly, I'll take a step even further back, a generation. My grandfather was U.S. Congressman Robert N.C. Nix. He was the first black congressman from Pennsylvania. He served for 19 years in that position. And he served on the Postal Committee, giving him the opportunity to help many African Americans get work in the post office, as well as he served as the ambassador to Mexico. His son, my father, Robert N.C. Nix Jr., became the first black Chief Justice of Pennsylvania. And he served in that position until just about retirement. If you read the books or you hear case law, he's got many opinions written on a lot of subjects that affect all areas of law. He's still well respected, and although he's no longer with us, he's a great legacy. And then I have an older brother who is also a lawyer, Robert N.C. Nix III. He's now retired. He was also on the tax board. He was the Fairmount Park president. He was a bank president. He's very well accomplished. And I'm bringing up the rear, but I'm doing the best I can.
Okay, that's great. Okay. At this time, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back right after this. Yes, Lord Michael, what are your responsibilities currently at the Royal House?
Well, I wear several different hats at different times at the Royal House. I have served as Z.O, and actually Lord Gregg and I have shared those duties over the last year or two. They go back and forth. Those duties require us to speak on behalf of the chief in certain countries. In Ghana, we have to make a, hold up a fan, and we deflect the audience from hearing what the chief says. The chief will tell me something, I will repeat it to the audience, and if there's a question directed to the chief, I would then receive the question and relay it to the chief. He would relay his answer to me, I would relay it to the crowd. That's one of the duties. Again, I'm the head of the Royal Legal Staff, so all business that we conduct that has any aspect of legal work, I'm involved in. Of course, the chief is an attorney as well.
Yes.
So we share those duties, but I try to do as much of it as I can.
Okay.
I'm also involved in pretty much every project that comes through the Royal House. And I do what I can to help out where I can. I'm on a busy schedule, so it's a little difficult, but I do what I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
To you! Yeah. Oh.
Yes, Lord Gregory. Yeah, I know you you have your own businesses going yourself. Could you share with the audience what is it you do on the outside? And then also what your responsibilities are in the Royal House?
Absolutely. I am Gregory Freeman. I own an auto body shop. I own an auto mechanic shop. I have been with the Elks as president for the last 12 years. I've been exalted ruler of OV Cattle Lodge number 20 for the last 14 years. I just retired from that. Also, I have a nonprofit organization. It's called the Philadelphia Community Veterans Resource Center, which operates out of 4930 North Broad Street. It's a phenomenal program for veterans. They come in and walk in the door with no hope. When they leave out, they have full benefits. And we don't stop until we at least get the veterans to 100% benefits for their lives, their livelihoods. We help change their lives. On the other note, I am also Baron and Count in different countries of Africa, of West Africa. I am the chief's mandate business officer. No business should be conducted without my knowledge, and all businesses should be brought to me before it gets to chief. We sit down as a team and we analyze the business, the pros and cons of any proper projection that people bring to the chief as far as business-wise. We analyze it, we measure it out before it gets to chief. If it seems to be suitable, then we present a project to chief.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
All right, well, that's very good.
yes.
That's very good.
You know, he's very modest. But there is so many things that we are involved with.
Yes.
We're going to go down to Washington on Friday, and we're going to meet with the ambassador there, and as well as the president,
Yes.
and the foreign minister and other members of the staff. And we are trying to bring to Sierra Leone the solar panels,
Yes.
a factory to make their own solar panels,
Yes.
and a training center that will have, by the time we finish, about 4,000 people working there. We also want to improve the medical conditions there. In fact, one of my RPDs that was there, she called me just before we arrived here, and she said that her grandbaby, which was 2 years old, thought that that was something she could play with. It turned out to be a scorpion that stung her. And so she wound up going to the hospital. And you need better medical facilities going on.
Yes.
So I am looking forward to going over there and doing more things with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm actually honestly looking forward to experiencing Sierra Leone also.
Yes.
Well, I understand that the country of China invests considerable amount of money, not only in various other African countries, but also in Sierra Leone.
Right.
And from what I've been reading, the natives in Africa seem to trust the Chinese more than they trust other investors, because many countries are apparently attempting to invest money in building roads and bridges, hospitals, etc. But they seem, from based upon what I've been reading, they seem to at least trust them a little more. I mean, they keep all of them to a certain distance, but for some reason the Chinese have found a way to be able to invest money there and kind of share the rewards, and I don't know whether that's true or not. And I was wondering how, your opinion on that.
Well, Lord Michael, and Her Ladyship Janine, and now Judge Michael Robinson, all of which are members of the House. We went to New York and we met with the Chinese head of commerce, and he's also a member of the Congress over there. And we met with Stephen Hoffenberg, which is of Netflix fame, and there was another gentleman that was there, and we talked to them about investments into the country. And I am looking forward to have a better atmosphere for people to be able to invest in the country,
Yes.
to be able to come back, go there and come back. And one of the things that we are looking forward to doing is, because 2 weeks ago, I think, we were up at the New York Fashion Week, and the person that was putting it on is a member of this royal house, and I thought that would be a wonderful thing to put on in conjunction with the African countries.
Right.
And one of the things is Her Ladyship Janine Walton, RPD. She is leading that off.
Okay.
And we have a new member, which is Stan, who's out in the audience. We're trying to coordinate that with Ghana, with Sierra Leone, and some other countries. You know, so I think it's always good to have an exchange of people, of cultures, of not just singers and dancers as Her Ladyship is, but in terms of, you know, there's a lot of ways to increase the commerce of the countries. It's sad that they purport that African countries are so poor when, you know, and they always put on maps showing Africa as being small. And you can fit all of the United States and Europe and most of the other countries on in the African continent. So I'm just pleased to be here. I'm pleased to be on the show, and I will look forward to us stopping. You know, I think we're supposed to stop, right? Yes, okay, great.
Okay, we're going to take a break at this time just for a few minutes, and we will be right back.
You're good, man.
Chief, we have a special guest that has come in to join us this evening, Mr. Stan Crawford. Stan, could you please
Yes.
come on in? It's good to see you,
Thanks,
sir.
my pleasure, my pleasure.
My pleasure. Chief, Mr. Stan Crawford.
Thank
Well,
you, Chief.
Stan is a
Pleasure
member of the
being here.
House also. Well, he's one motion, I think, from being a member of the House.
One motion away.
Yeah.
Yes, Brother Stanley.
Yes, sir.
This is a very beautiful and excellent place here, and I was just wondering if you could give us some information on your background and how you've actually got involved in this and how you started it, whatever.
Well, I've been into African culture. I was in Ghana in 1974, so you see how long I've been involved with going back and forth to the continent. And as a forensic knowledge seeker, I've been on this path for over 57 years. This has been, what this institution is, the Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery Institute. And the purpose is to deal with the post-traumatic slave syndrome that we all have some type of suffering from. And this has been a bucket list of mine for that term. And by the Creator and the ancestors, it came to fruition on my birthday, which was June the 28th.
Okay.
We had the grand opening on June the 28th. And since then, we've been developing it, and we're moving to the point where we're putting program. And that's why I'm excited about what's taking place here tonight. Because what's taking place here tonight is exactly what this institution is meant for. So we can introduce our people to people like the chief and the staff, and get them to understand that even though we have the experience of what I call the kidnap Africa, enslavement in our genealogy, but we haven't forgotten about Africa. You know, I like what Kwame Nkrumah says, we're not African because he said he's not an African because he was born in Africa. He's an African because Africa was born in him.
Okay.
And as a result of that, we try our best through this institution and other work that we do to make it to our brothers and sisters' attention so we can embrace our African culture and traditions. So Chief, that's what we're doing here.
Right.
And when I met you, I was proud to come and see you and see what you're doing at the embassy. And even when I hear you talk, I'm enthusiastic about the work that's coming through the whole organization that you are the chief of. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I've been very excited, especially after having first come in here and meeting you, and to be able to walk around your facility. It is totally mind-blowing for me. Just like I enjoy working with the Royal House. I'm Afrocentric all the way to the bone.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, so it's just a very great experience for me just to be here, to be a part of this, and also to get a chance to know you also, and your history and background.
Yeah. Just you saying that makes it all worth it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a blessing.
Yes, indeed. How did you actually, from the very beginning, get started? You know, about how long ago? You and I are pretty close to the same age.
Yeah.
And,
I'm 73, so.
Okay, we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say this, and I mean this from a philosophical and a rational perspective. What you see here came through me and not from me. If I try to say what a wonderful job I've done and being used as a vessel to bring this institution into existence, I truly believe that the ancestors and the Creator used myself as a vehicle to bring into existence something that is much needed in our community. You know, we keep on saying to ourselves what's wrong with us. If you take any people, you put them under 246 years of intense enslavement, then you take the same people and you put them under 100 years of Jim Crow and black codes, and then you give them the illusion of inclusion, and we wonder why we keep asking ourselves the question, how come we as an ethnic group can't come together because we haven't healed from the trauma that is in our DNA and our genealogy. And I always say, those of us who think we are the wellest are the sickest among us. Dr. Jordy Grew wrote the book Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Michelle Alexander wrote the book The New Jim Crow. Dr. Naeem Akbar wrote the book Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. So when you start, and Claude Anderson wrote the book Black Labor, White Wealth, and Randall Robinson wrote the book The Debt. These are books that I studied over the years, and it makes a lot of sense. I went to Kemet with Dr. Aswan Quasi, me and my wife, in 2009. And when I went to Kemet with him and seeing the legacy that our ancestors left on the wall of a historical story, not what somebody said, not what somebody told them, not what I believe, not what I think, what I feel. They left a story on the walls as our history and our high cultural sciences. So when I say what's happening here, what's taking place here, the purpose of this institution is to have discussions like this so we can start sharing with our people what happened, what's happening, and what we need to preserve ourselves. I hope that makes sense, but that's the premise of what we're working with.
Absolutely. Yeah, Brother Stan, the one question I did have was, are there any youth involved in your program?
Yes, we have another building down the street, which is our office complex. And there's about 9 offices there, and that's the way the Black Male Community Council work with the youth there.
Okay.
And we deal with the youth that most people think is, that they unreachable. Most of the youth that we get is from Judge Sawyer, which is running for retention now. She's an excellent judge. It either being adjudicated, has been adjudicated, probation, parole, ankle bracelet. This is the youth that we work with. Those youth that when you look at, most people look at them, they would not even, they hold their pocketbook or are afraid of them. That's the ones that we work with. My son this month, no, last month, because we're in October now, was murdered 7 years ago. Like, he was 35 years old, and he got murdered. So I'm from North Philly. I always tell people this. Where I come from, I could have been getting revenge, but the Creator put on my spirit to help these young brothers not to be murdered or murderers. So that's our goal with working with these young. So to answer your question, that's the demographics of the young people we're working with. Now, when they come here in this institution, I take them and introduce them to the culture. So we have different youth from different other programs that come through our building down there. And Chief, when you get a chance, maybe next time I'll show you the building down the street that we had.
Okay.
And then we can see how this all coordinates with each other. You see what I'm saying? And also, we take 2 tours to Africa, to Ghana in particular, twice a year. This year we go on November the 28th to December the 6th. Next year we already have it scheduled for 2026, April the 24th to May the 9th. And that's another one of these opportunities to introduce or be a vehicle to help our brothers and sisters go visit where our ancestors came from. So it's a multifaceted assignment. But when I wake up, I'm excited to wake up.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what the Creator had for us to do on most days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally excited myself. Chief?
You know, one of the things I'm going to do on Friday is put you and the Minister of Tourism together so that you can have a conversation of doing these types of tours that includes Sierra Leone. And because everybody likes Ghana because of the kente cloth. And, you know, they can style and profile with that. But I want you to become friends with the Minister of Tourism in all 20 countries. And I want to say that you are there and you are a member of this Royal House, and you can call up and they'll take your call and they'll do things. In fact, 2 years ago for Liberia, I was ambassador for tourism. And I was the ambassador for tourism for Canada, all of the US and the Caribbean. And so you need to be able to expand this to other people. And the next time that you're going to be showing, I think in the next segment is going to be showing it through, I will have the Minister of Tourism for Ghana on the phone, or you'll be able to talk to my half-brother over there who's Nana Defraki. And you can, and I'm just talking about Ghana for right now, but I want you to be able to be a part of that. And you know, the judge who's in the audience here, who serves as my royal grand lady in waiting, she can't do politics, but she can introduce the chief justices of the Supreme Court over there, and they'll be happy to talk to them. You can talk about what you're doing, in terms of with youth at risk, what are the programs that they're doing. And you want to become friends with the heads of the different departments times 20, you know. And it's one thing to go over to Ghana and say, well, you know, I'm going with somebody and we're going to do this or that. It's another one to be able to say, I'm going to Ghana and I'm going to meet with the president. You can't beat that. Okay.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Okay. This trip that I am taking in November has a mission for me as the individual. We're taking about 30-something people.
Right.
And we go through the tour, you know, the dungeons, the Cape Coast, Alameda.
Right.
But my goal, Chief, if you can help, and hopefully you can, I have a vision of us having a village that is made of what I'm calling the Returning Ancestors Village. When I was there in 2023, up in the Volta region, the primary chief of that region had 4 villages underneath his chiefhood. But he gave 52 acres of land to one of the Allwalls from the Sorcerer Society, 52 acres of land about a half a mile from the Volta River. They're clearing it out now as we speak. He was just over there. So that put something in my idea about putting a village that we, the offsprings of those who was kidnapped. So when we go back and forth to the continent, we have a base of operation and a place to go and restore ourselves. So that's something that I just wanted to bring into the audience and bring out. So when we're doing these things, I'm not going there just for tourist purposes.
Right.
It's a mission. And the mission is, how can we reconnect with our brothers and sisters where they have access to us and we have access to them on a continuous basis?
In Sierra Leone, I took about 50 mayors there. And when we got there, they put us on a boat, didn't tell them where they was going. The white people that was on the boat was just as relaxed. The black people started doing shaking. And they were saying, I don't want to go onto this island. White baby in the stroller was just sleeping just calmly. The black babies, and you couldn't tell them where they were going because they weren't even talking yet. Okay, they start screaming. One lady we had to hold down, and you know, it looked like she was in the winter, even though I think the temperature was 80-something degrees. And she, you know, you get those goosebumps on you, and she kept screaming, she don't want to go there. Okay, it was to Bunce Island. They say the island is now about 18 inches higher. That's from all the burnt slaves. And that's the last place that you would be there. In fact, the Mende and the Fulanis, all of them were trying to go there to try to save their family. And they were blasted out of the water because they was going there with bows and arrows, and so all their spirits are in that water. And when you go there, the soil varies from 6 inches to 18 inches high by the time they finished it. And that's where they would take them, because then they had cannons set up there, and you know, and on the far side of it, they would load up those ships, you know, and anybody that made an objection about it, they would get burned. I think so. I took them there to see the reaction, and these were all mayors. They were all educated people. They were teachers and stuff like that. there was no big sign where you said, "Oh, get on this boat. We're going to take you out to Bunce Island," because they didn't know that. And I think if I would have said to them, "You're going to Bunce Island," you know, they would have looked it up and said, "Oh, wow, this is where all the slaves were." But to be taken there as a day trip without knowing what it was going, what island we were going to, and just there was people that was just doing this, and little babies in the car. The European babies were just sleeping, and the other babies, and what woke them up was all the black babies were screaming. So what kind of spirit would wake up a black baby? What kind of spirit that you would have that would make a mayor or professor or somebody else to start saying, "I don't want to go there"? In fact, one of the ladies we had to, I said earlier, we had to actually tie her down because she was going to jump off if they weren't going to turn the boat. She was going to jump off. There's crocodiles in that water. You know, so she wouldn't have made it out of that water. And afterwards, she said she didn't even know how to swim. So the energy, and when you're going up the little river there, and because it spills off into the ocean, and that way they can have water on the side that rescuers would come from, and they would be targets. You know, they don't have the weapons, but to have that generational fear. And it wasn't until the British actually ended it. And in fact, if you look at the movie Amistad, when the guy said something to him, and he says, "Yeah, there's no more Bunce Island," because they blew it up, right? The people that was running it. But you can see the old cannons and everything else like that. And when you're walking around, and the grass has grown on top of it, but you're walking around that, you're walking on your people.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have said that because I was going to take the judge over there and everybody else of Bunce Island. So, but I don't want to put a subconscious thought in your mind. But these were people that did not know. You know, we went to the markets, we went to the festival and stuff like that. But it's you go to Bunce Island, there's a different feeling. You know, and it's kind of like Ghana where they have the door of no return. Yeah, there's people that go there. My older sister went there, and she just, but you know, people told her where she was going, so it could have been put in their mind. But
Yeah, once again, this is Lord Robert, and I'd like to thank you for paying attention to our show and listening to what we had to say this evening. I want to thank our chief, Methuselah Bradley, for being here, and also our guests, our lords, and also Brother Crawford here. And I'd just like to say I want to thank you for tuning in, and I just want you to remember to pray for our country right now. I'd like to ask you to keep our royal house and our chief in prayer. And keep all of our members in prayer. And then please pray for me that I may grow stronger in the Lord. Again, I thank you so very much. Part 2 will be coming up on the next episode, part 2 of this program. And I look forward to joining you and seeing you then. Thank you very much.
All right.
Goodbye now.
Bye.
Awilo lokomba, eguchika tokawa, wabadni iwamba, I live in like no other. Ewanya na kwachu, nyapi toka wanibe. no need talk and you go know.